plan to hand in our marriage papers real soon with the guy I've been dating.
Wait, you're getting married? And since when have you been going out with anyone, Misty?
You know better than to say something like that. I'm old enough now to where I have to have a man by my side. And the man I've been dating is the same age as me, and he's a very cool-looking guy.
Well, congrats on finding a man to marry, Misty. I have always been wondering when the day would come that you'd be getting married. But now to actually hear from you that you are, I can't help but think about what's next. When are you handing in those marriage papers? And do you plan to have a wedding for everyone to come see you guys at?
We plan to go to the city office very soon here. And the wedding will be happening sometime this year, we hope.
Well, being your mom, Misty, I've been dreaming of seeing you in a wedding dress. And so as your mom, I've done everything I could to raise you without a father here to help, and I'm so excited to hear that my dreams will finally come true. I'll try my best to support you with anything you need, even if I can't offer much. But I'll do everything to get you as nice of a wedding as you want. Before I do anything else, though, I'd really like to meet your soon-to-be husband. At this point, I really need to know who the man is, and that's why I need to see him before we begin preparing.
You don't have to worry about meeting him. I'm not planning on having him come back to your place anytime in the future.
Huh?
You actually think I'd bring him to that rundown shack you're living in? And I already told him that you don't really care to see him much, and that there's no need in him going out to see you. You should just be happy that I'm allowing you to come to my wedding, and then after that, you can leave the two of us alone.
Wait a second, Misty. What are you talking about? I get that this place is pretty old and has seen better days, but I've made sure to keep it clean and safe. And can you tell me why you think I don't care to see him? Why would you tell him a lie like that?
Huh? Well, what about that was a lie? I'm not really sure what you think about me right now, but I actually hate you a lot, Mom. And I feel that you won't need to waste your time seeing my man. And so that's why I've told him that you don't want to see him, because I don't want you seeing him. So it's not really a lie, right?
What?
To tell you the truth, I didn't even want to tell you about us getting married or about having you come to the wedding. But he did tell me that that was going a bit too far and that I needed to at least allow you the joy of seeing us marry. And that's why I'm allowing you to come even though I hate your guts. And that should be enough for you to be thanking me right now, right?
Wait, though, Misty, why are you acting like this now? What happened to you? What do you mean you hate your own mom's guts? What did I do to you that caused you to start thinking that way? Because I thought that I was doing a good job of showing you how much I care about you. Why do you hate me so much?
Shut the hell up, you old hag! You don't have the right to celebrate me now. It's because of you bringing me into a poor household without a father that I've been living such a troubled life. And a mother that thinks it's okay to raise her daughter like that deserves to be hated.
Excuse me?
All right. When you come to my wedding, don't you dare say a single word to anyone. I don't want to have to lose my wedding because you decided to talk without me allowing you to. And when it comes to my fiancé and his family, you don't have to bother yourself with trying to find them and talk to them. I just want you to sit there and shut up while I have my special day.
Hey, really, hold on for just a second. What has actually happened to you? I have no idea why you think that's a good reason to hate me so much. And what do you mean, a poor household? What about our family has been without enough money to live a good life? And just because I'm a single mother doesn't mean that I've troubled you in any way, or at least I didn't mean to.
Seriously? You have no right saying that to me after not allowing me to go overseas for school. And when it comes to wanting to go on trips to Hawaii with you, you never bothered taking me. In other words, you never gave a crap about me.
Huh? What trips to Hawaii? And when you say overseas for school, since when were you ever asking me about stuff like that?
My man told me all about this stuff. He said to me that there's no other reason for it besides you being poor, that I couldn't go overseas for school or to places like Hawaii on vacation.
Huh?
The man that I'm planning on marrying, he's super rich and from a family of rich people. From what he's told me, his parents run a very well-known company, and in a little while longer, he's expected to take over that company.
Wow, is that so?
At the moment, he's working for another company, learning about how to run a company of his own and the economics of it all. And it was at that company that him and I met and started to date. But starting to date a man like him made every day hell for me. I just knew that he would judge me all the time because I've had to grow up in a poor household with just you as a parent.
Huh?
I bet he still judges me for it, Mom. Unlike me, when he was in high school, he was allowed to go study abroad for school. And when it comes to where his family took him on vacation, it'd be places like Bali and Hawaii. Unlike his family, mine has been such an embarrassing mess that it's driven me crazy having to think about you being my mom.
Well, when you compare any other family to a family such as his, they will all look as though they don't have much money. But I'm telling you that we have had it lucky being able to live in such a decent house. And to tell you another thing, I've worked my butt off to make sure that we had the money to live a happy life here. Even though it was impossible for us to go to Hawaii, I still made sure to take you to all sorts of cool places closer to our house. And on your birthdays, I made sure to get you everything you ever asked me for, right?
And what about that means we have been living a happy life? His family goes to all sorts of cool places close to his house every month. And on his birthdays, he gets to have his own private chef come in and make him anything he asks for right in front of his eyes. When you compare our family to that, we are the lowest of the low and considered piss poor. And you yourself are a piss poor excuse for a mother.
What?
If I could have at least had a father, I'm sure that he would have done enough to stop us from being so poor and made sure that we could take more vacations to places like Hawaii. But it's because you divorced him when I was so young that I've had to live with you all by myself and never experience anything besides troubles.
It's the other way around, Misty. If your father was still around, you would have had to suffer a lot more than you think you have been. The whole reason for the divorce was to protect you.
Seriously?
Your father was a heavy gambler and would use up all our money to try and win it big. He was the kind of man that would spend every last penny on slot machines, even when it meant us not being able to buy fresh food for a whole month. So to protect you from a man like that, I left him. If it wasn't for me making that difficult choice to save you, then who knows what kind of horrible life we'd be living in right now.
Stop trying to lie about my father like that. If you'd never forced that divorce when I was so young, then we could be living a wonderful life right now. I know right now that Dad is a way better person than you are and is very successful.
What?
Did you think that after he was forced to leave us, he'd just stop trying to talk to his daughter? Well, I'll lay it out for you. Right now, my father is an owner of his own business. His company isn't as amazing as my fiance's, but it's still a whole lot better than the company you own.
That man has his own business? And another thing, how do you know that he has his own business? Have you actually been talking with him again recently?
When it comes to business owners, they all happen to know one another pretty well. And so somewhere in there, they heard about how I've been dating the son of a CEO, and the news spread along to Dad. And that's why one day I got a message from Dad talking about his life.
Don't tell me that you've started to see him in person as well, right?
Dad is such a perfect father. He was even kind enough to bring me to such a fancy restaurant that they had a dress code in place. He ordered all our food like he knew every detail about the dishes, and he was even kind enough to give me a present. Unlike you, he's the best parent a girl could ask for.
That man did all that for you?
Stop trying to make him look bad because of his past. Everyone has to go through a point in their life where they become addicted to gambling. Normally, as his wife, you should have helped him get over that low in his life. But instead, you selfishly divorced him and made him deal with all that pain on his own. If it wasn't for you being such a selfish hag, then my life would be so much better now. Heck, you could have at least let me go see him every other week after the divorce, and I could have had access to all his money. It's all your fault that my life sucked so much.
Are you kidding me?
If you understand now why I hate you so much, shut the hell up and be quiet when it comes time for my wedding.
Misty, wait a second. What the heck was that whole speech about just then? What you said in front of everyone? Why would you ever read a letter like that to me in front of everyone saying that you want to cut ties to me?
I'm happy to see that you obeyed the promise we made and stayed quiet the whole time. But what you heard today from me was true, and that's why we are done here. After today, you and I are no longer mother and daughter.
All of that was not a good enough reason to want to leave me, though. I get what you were saying to me before as reason for wanting to hate me, but cutting ties to me because of all that? And saying that to me in front of everyone at your wedding?
What's so wrong with that? I was just telling everyone the facts about you. I told them that you didn't let me study abroad, which left me without a perfect education, and told them that while everyone was out having a great time with their families, you'd made me work a part-time job. And when it came to the money I made from a part-time job, you made me give it all to you. I also enjoyed finishing that speech off by saying that life with you has been hell and I want it to end. Now everyone is on my side and asking for things between us to be over for good.
Huh?
After having to hear all of that from me in front of everyone at my wedding, that should be enough to get you to give up on me, right? And even if that isn't enough to get you to leave me, everyone hates you now. So you have no other choice.
And those are your reasons for giving such a cruel speech about me in front of everyone? You must have no idea the amount I have sacrificed for you. Because all I saw from you today was you making up a bunch of events to make it seem as though you were the only one suffering.
Huh?
You never even once told me that you wanted to study abroad or anything like that when you were in school. And from what I remember, your scores in school were too low anyway for them to give you permission to go study overseas.
And my scores were low because you made me work part-time. You made me work after school every day because you didn't have enough money for us, and it's because of me having to work all evening that I never had time to study.
You're wrong, Misty. The only reason you had to work a part-time job was because every month you'd spend around $5,000 on online games. I told you plenty of times to stop spending all that on your phone, but you never listened. And that's why, to make up for all that money you kept spending, I had you work. You are pretty much an adult anyway when you're in high school, so you should know better than to be spending that much of my money on your phone. You needed to learn that you have to earn the money you want to spend on entertainment. If it wasn't for me forcing you to start working a little to make up for all that money lost, then we actually wouldn't have had enough money to live decent lives.
No matter what the reason was for that, you forced me to work and took all the money I made. Normal families would have been fine with me spending that much money on things that made me happy. But instead, my mom didn't even bother to let me have my fun, instead threatening me by saying that we wouldn't have enough money for food because of my spending habits. And when I told Dad about all of this, he said you treated me like an animal. He said that had he been around when I was spending that much, he would have continued to pay for everything for me.
You're back to talking about that man?
Well, whatever. Just know that after today, you and I are done. I struck out terribly having to be raised by a failure like you. Well, now I'm not going to stick around for when you get old and need my help. And you can kiss seeing me ever again. Goodbye.
Are you really okay with that?
You know for a dang fact that I am, you old hag. All you are to me now is a waste of mental space.
Calling your only parent a waste of mental space, huh?
I still have Dad around to care for me when I need it. So I'd much rather have my mind thinking about him over you. Even tomorrow, he's willing to come to town to let me see him again, and we promised that. He said he wants to come and celebrate my marriage as well. I wonder what kind of gift he's gotten me this time. Maybe a brand new car?
Either that or he'll be handing you an IOU. He must know by now that you're married to a very wealthy man and will be coming to get his hands on some of the money.
Huh?
For a man that never paid any of his daughter's child support, it's pretty brave of him to come back to see you again. Tell him that I said that when he comes to see you tomorrow.
Hold on 1 second, Mom. Why would Dad ever come to me to hand me an IOU? And wanting to borrow money from me? No way. Right now, Dad is a CEO himself and can afford anything he wants.
I'm sure that he's some kind of CEO. Now I'm going to listen to what you've said and make sure that I never come around you ever again. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of your life.
Mom, come help me. When I went to go meet with Dad, he had a really scary dude with him, and he didn't even introduce himself to me before he started to yell to me about why Dad has borrowed so much money from him. That scary dude told me that Dad is over $200,000 in debt with him, and that he needs that money back right now. He even told me that I'm going to be the one to pay it back since Dad has nothing.
Oh my. Seems that gift Dad was bringing you for your wedding turned out to be a bluff. I'm surprised to hear that even Dad thinks a gift like that is okay to give to a young wife.
How the hell is something like this a gift? And actually, what the hell does he mean Dad owes him over $200,000? What the hell was Dad doing to get here?
I'm pretty sure that the scary dude explained that to you when he was telling you everything else, right?
He's so scary that most of what he said didn't even enter my ears. I freaked out so much before he could even finish that I ran to a public bathroom nearby and am currently hiding in it. Can you tell me what the actual hell is going on right now?
Even if I tried my best to explain, I've only heard rumors about your dad. From those rumors, though, it's thought that your dad runs a pretty risky business. Apparently, his company sells commodities at extremely high prices to people that need them desperately, which forces them to end up paying. At first, a company like that will make bank, forcing its customers to pay that much, but the company won't last long. And from other things I've heard, his company is currently going bankrupt. And that's probably what led to him having to borrow a lot of money trying to save his skin.
You have to be lying, right? How could all that be true when only recently he took me to that really nice restaurant with him, and he was able to give me such a high-brand present? Could he really afford all that for me when his company is going under?
Well, when you stop to really think about all of this, his timing for coming back to talk to you is a little too spot on. The moment he learned about you marrying the son of a CEO, he started to get back in touch with you again. I'm sure that his only goal in getting close to you was to get that money.
What am I going to do, Mom? I really want to run away from here right now. Can you come out here and help me get away?
I'm sorry, Misty. We made it pretty clear yesterday that neither one of us would ever be seeing one another again, right? So I won't be able to come save you. Therefore, you'll need to figure something out for yourself.
What?
You told me that you ended up with me as the worst parent, right? But don't you worry, as you have yourself a wonderful husband now with all that money. I'm sure that you can just go and ask him to pay off your dad's debts, right? Or if the man is as scary as you say, you can just get a lawyer to go and deal with him for you from your husband.
And I normally would want to go ask my husband to help me out here, but right now is not the best time to be doing that. I just got a message from my husband only a few seconds ago, and he told me that he wants the two of us to get divorced already.
Huh? He wants a divorce now? Didn't you guys just have your wedding yesterday?
And yesterday I gave that speech saying that I wanted to cut ties with you, right? Well, apparently his parents and him weren't too happy to hear that from me, and so they went ahead and looked into me a bit more to see if I really was living a life in hell with you. And when they did that, they started to learn about my poor grades in school and about how I had spent so much money on my games. And after learning all that, my husband told me that you were nothing more than an average mother to me, and that the hell I was living in was my own fault.
My oh my. It's crazy to think that right after you learned about your father's debt and how he needs you to pay it off, your husband is ready for a divorce. This must really be a tough spot for you.
Please, Mom, come help me. I don't want to have to pay over $200,000 to that scary dude, and I don't want to get divorced.
Well, you can tell me that all you want, but I can't do anything for you. You told me that you wanted to cut ties to me, right? So stop trying to take all you said to me back now just because you need my help again.
I believe that we met for a brief second yesterday, but this is your son-in-law's mother, Daisy. Nice to have met you.
Nice to have met you as well. But as you heard yesterday, I'm no longer really your son's mother-in-law anymore after my daughter cut ties to me.
And about that, I think what your daughter did was just tragic. After taking the time to look into you guys a bit more, we learned that you actually didn't do anything wrong whatsoever to her. Yet for some reason, she believes she can talk about you in such a nasty tongue?
I just heard about a lot of this from her a little bit ago. And from what she was saying, your son is planning to divorce her?
I'm sorry that my son is asking for something so depressing as divorce just after the two of them had their wedding. But after hearing about the way she spoke about you, even though her past was her responsibility, we have no patience in waiting around for her to grow up. I hope you can understand that.
I do understand why your son wants the divorce. Misty did all of this to herself, so she really does need to learn, one way or another, not to act like a spoiled brat. But I wonder why, after hearing her give that speech, you guys chose to look into her. I really thought that everyone at the wedding would believe what she was saying and be on her side.
Well, you and I are both mothers, right? I understand the troubles of having to raise a daughter and that it must be way more difficult when you have to do it alone. There is also one other thing that I never mentioned to Misty. That's that her father used to cause me a lot of headache in the past.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Well, right after Misty and my son got engaged, a man with the same last name as her came to our house looking for her. When he showed up, he told me that we had to make sure that his daughter became my son's wife. And once he told me that, he handed me an envelope full of cash as a payment in advance for getting our son to stay with your daughter.
You're lying. That man actually went ahead and did all of that to you?
Of course, I told him I didn't want his money. And I wasn't going to try and stop my son from marrying Misty or anything. But when I told him that I didn't want his money, he told me that it was actually to pay for us to later take good care of him after Misty became a part of the family. However, after hearing that speech from Misty at her wedding, the three of us all lost our love for Misty at that moment, knowing that she'd be nothing but trouble like her father.
So that's what ended up happening. I don't even know how to apologize for the troubles my daughter and ex have caused.
You don't have to apologize for anything. At this point, we are going to be saying goodbye to her as our daughter-in-law, and she already cut ties to you. So she's just a stranger at this point to all of us. If anything, think of this as a way of completely saying goodbye to those two. You are finally free from them, and should look forward to a life of relaxation from now on.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Just hearing that from you now has lifted a lot of weight off my back.
What am I going to do, Mom? He actually left me like he said he would. And when I tried to get them to listen to me, they wouldn't have it and told me to go away. They told me that they won't be allowing anyone into their family that they can't trust. And that they won't allow me to be their son's wife when all I do is complain and ask for help from them. His parents and him have already filed the divorce, and there's nothing I can do now.
And so from now on, you're completely alone. Must hurt knowing that they left you like you left me.
You don't have to say something like that to me now. Just come here and get me. I already tried once to get back into your house, but you never came out to get me. Why not? Hurry up and unlock the door so I have a place to sleep tonight. Stop trying to bully me and open the dang door.
Oh, for goodness sake, you went back to that old house? I'm sorry, but I've already moved out of there. So I'm no longer in that house anymore.
Huh? You moved out?
Well, you were the one that cut ties to me, right? And since I didn't have a daughter anymore, I was in that place all by myself. But even though I was alone, there were still a lot of memories of us trapped in that place that haunted me. So I did my best to forget about you, and that meant getting out of there. And just like that, I'm now having a great time living on my own.
If you were going to do something like that, you should have told me sooner. I'm going to come to your new place now, so tell me the address.
Huh? Why would I tell some crazy stranger the address to my new house? I don't want you back in my life, and especially not back living with me.
Huh?
You and I are no longer family anymore, so this is acceptable to think, right? You are no longer my daughter, just a stranger now. So I'm not telling you a thing about my new life besides that it has nothing to do with you.
Well, wait, Mom? I just lost my husband and now have no place to go to anymore. Your cute little girl is in need of some help right now and you're not going to come save her?
I already told you that I don't have a daughter anymore. But you do have a father around you still, right? And he's entrusted you with paying off his $200,000 debt, so there must be something between you both, right? The fact that he's made it this far with that kind of debt means he'd be the perfect person for you to ask for some help from. Having a man like him around to father you again after being through the worst of it himself would be the perfect thing for you.
There's nothing perfect about any of that. All he's been trying to do is get me wrapped up in his awful life.
But even after all the years I spent raising you, you chose to keep him as your father while throwing me away, right? So you can have a great life with him now, Misty. I've got to get back to living my wonderful life as a single woman now, and I hope things go well for you soon, just like me. After that, Misty started to freak out, worrying about how her dad's debt would soon affect her, and even quit her job to run and hide. But no matter where she tried to run and hide, my ex seemed to still be hot on her trail. And when he did finally catch her, he started to call her a failure for not being able to stay married to the man that had all that money, and forced her to start working for him. Now, not only was Misty forced to start working for her dad to help him make money, but her friends started to find out as well about the debt. And not just the debt, but about the divorce as well, and began to spread rumors about her. And soon those rumors began to pick up pace and spread like wildfire. As for what's happened with me after all of this, I've just been living the good life as a single, middle-aged woman. I had to sacrifice a lot of my life raising Misty all by myself for a long time, but comparing the life I had raising her, my life all alone now is 10 times better.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Yo, what gives, Shelly? Where are you right now? I need to talk to you. I just got home from work. I'm tired. I'm hungry. There's a problem, though. You didn't make me any dinner. Are you off somewhere screwing around with your friends or something? You'd better not be.
There you are, Rick. I was trying to get a hold of you. Didn't you see any of my texts? While I was walking downtown doing a bit of shopping this afternoon, I got hit by a car.
You what? Are you kidding me?
Trust me, Rick, I wish I was. I got hit pretty hard, so they had to call an ambulance for me. I'm at the hospital off Center Avenue right now.
Oh, yeah, I saw that text. The cops even called me. They were all like, excuse me, sir, but your wife was in a car accident. And I was like, yeah, I know. Why did you bother me while I'm at work to tell me what I already know? Such a waste of time. So yeah, what's a big deal? Why are you still at the hospital? There's no reason to keep you there for some stupid little car accident.
Excuse me?
Say you bumped into a car or something. Boo-hoo, poor you. That's no excuse for you to be laying around in the hospital. Get back here right now. Your husband is hungry and wants to eat, and it's your job to feed him. So get back to work. Tell the doctors you want to go home and get back here pronto.
Are you out of your mind? I can't just go home like this. First of all, I did not bump into the car. The car ran into me while I was crossing the road. While the pedestrian light was green, may I add. They did x-rays on me, and they're telling me I have fractures in both of my legs. I was seriously hurt.
What?
There's no way I can leave the hospital right now. They still need to keep me for a while for observation. And even after that, I'm still going to be here for at least a few days until my legs look like they're on the mend.
So then who's gonna cook my dinner for me while you're relaxing on your backside in that hospital bed, huh? Can you tell me that? I need my shirts ironed too. I'm down to my last one and it's only Wednesday. I can't go to work with a wrinkly shirt on Friday. And the cooking and laundry are just the start of the things you need to do tonight. Who's gonna do it if you don't?
I mean, cooking and laundry, can't you just, do that yourself? It's not like I can do it while I'm laid up in this bed.
I don't believe you. When did you become such a lazy old maid? You're really gonna tell your husband who just got back from a long and hard day at the office to do chores? Get real!
Rick.
I don't give two flips if your legs are broken. Haven't you ever heard of a wheelchair? They gotta have some of those at the hospital. You can borrow one of theirs and wheel yourself back over here. So like I said, call the doctor and tell him you need to go home and take care of your husband.
You have got to be kidding me. I have 2 broken legs and you're still gonna tell me to come home and do the housework?
Just grit your teeth and walk it off. You've got work to do. I am your husband, and as your husband, I demand that you come home immediately and do as I say.
This is unreal. You haven't yet expressed a single ounce of concern for me, your wife, who was hit by a car this afternoon so hard that both of her legs are broken. But not just that, you're telling me to get a wheelchair and wheel myself home to do chores for you?
Is my concern gonna get my dinner cooked or my shirts ironed? No, you need to do that stuff. The only thing I'm concerned about right now is not dying of starvation.
Come on, Rick, really?
Honestly, you deserve to get hit by that car for the way you've been acting lately. It's about time karma came back to bite you, you spoiled brat.
I don't believe what I'm hearing.
Yeah, well, it's the truth. You've been acting like a spoiled little brat, Shelley. You're always like, I need more money for groceries. You need to do more chores. Tell me, Shelley, who's the housewife in this family? Is it me? It's you! That's why you got hit by that car, because you don't know your place.
I'm a spoiled brat for asking you for money to buy food and to maybe, wash a plate or two every once in a while? You know how bad inflation is these days. Money doesn't go as far as it used to anymore. $500 for a month just isn't enough. I'm not asking for much, just an extra 100 or so.
And who is it that earns that extra $100, Shelley? Huh? Is it you? Is it Bella? No, it's me. I'm the one who pays for everything around here. It's your job to make my money go as far as possible.
I'm already making it go as far as it possibly can, Rick. I can't make it go any further than this. It's just not possible.
Don't you dare talk back to me.
How about you try going shopping one of these days, huh? Do you think you can pay for a month's worth of food with just $500? I'd like to see you try. And as for chores, I am literally, physically incapable of doing that stuff right now. My legs are broken. I wanted you to help me with the chores in order to help you get more used to them in the event something like this were to happen.
You are the housewife. It's your job to make sure that no matter what happens, I don't have to do any chores. That includes making sure you don't get sick or injured. And now you go and get yourself hit by a car? You're so useless. A useless wife like you doesn't deserve any of my hard-earned money. You know what? You can pay for your hospital stay out of your own pocket. I'm not paying a dime.
What? How am I supposed to pay for this?
You had that savings account from back before we got married, right? Use that money. You're not getting one single solitary cent out of me.
But, Rick, I have barely any money left in that account.
That's it. I'm sick of this pointless conversation. I'm gonna go out and buy myself something to eat. You just focus on getting back home as soon as possible, got it? I'm not gonna let you slack off on your chores just because you got in some stupid car accident.
Hey, Mom. Sorry I didn't get your calls yesterday. I went straight to my job after my classes got finished. And then I went out drinking with the girls I work with after that. We had a blast. I just got home a bit ago. So, you, got in a car accident or something? That's crazy. Bella, you were out all night drinking and you never even looked at your phone once? Ugh. Well, we can talk about that later. Could you come by the hospital I'm staying in right now? I need you to bring me some clean clothes. And I'm going to be here for a while, so bring at least several days' worth, please. Huh? Sorry, Mom. No can do. Me and Dad are at the airport. Our flight is boarding soon. What? Airport? Can you maybe, ask a nurse to get you some clothes, I guess? Anyway, neither of us can do it, so you're gonna have to find someone else who can. Where on earth are you going, Bella? And wait, did you say you and Dad? You're going somewhere with Dad by plane? Yeah, I am super stoked. We're going on a trip to Hawaii together. This is the best day of my life, for real. Out all night drinking, then hop on a flight to Hawaii. How awesome is that? I am so stoked. You two are going to Hawaii? But why? You chose today of all days to suddenly decide to take a trip to Hawaii? Well, duh. With you laid up in the hospital, this was our only chance to go and have some fun without you. Plus, without you at home, who's gonna do all our cooking and cleaning? I'm not doing it. This is too much to handle. And, we were thinking about maybe hiring a maid. But what's the point in doing that? It would cost a bunch of money for someone to do what you do for free. Plus, I don't want some stranger looking at my underwear and stuff. Yuck. That's when Dad got the idea to go on vacation. We thought we could spend just a little bit more than that and actually be able to enjoy ourselves if we go on a trip, so that's what we're doing. We're gonna have a ton of fun with just the two of us. Oh, I am so happy for you. We won't have to cook, we can just go out to eat whenever we want. And we won't need to clean stuff. The staff at the hotel will take care of all that stuff. So, yeah, we're gonna be over here while you're in the hospital. See you in a month or so. Aren't you forgetting one thing, Bella? Me! What am I gonna do here without you two around to help out? I need you to bring me some clean clothes, do paperwork for me, take care of errands for me. There's a lot of stuff that I can't do on my own in my condition, Bella. I need you guys over here. That ain't my problem. It's not my fault you ran into a car. It's not my fault either. Yeah, it is. Seriously, Mom, how dumb do you have to be hit by a car like that? I mean, you do have eyes, don't you? It's not like cars are that hard to see. Just freaking look in front of you, you dummy. You can't talk to me like that. I am your mother. Oh, and one more thing. Do you know how long you're gonna be in there? It's been a day already. Did you ask the doctor when you can go home? Well, from the sound of things, I'm going to be in here for about a month or so. After that, they'll look at how my legs are healing and make the determination of when they're going to discharge me. Awesome! That means I'm going to be able to spend almost my whole summer break in Hawaii. Yes! This is going to be the best vacation ever. Oh, thanks for getting hit by that car, Mom. You're the best. You're thanking me? Just what do you and your father think of me anyway? I am your mother. I've been badly injured. I'm in the hospital recovering. And the two of you are thinking only of yourselves, leaving me here to fend for myself and going on a luxury vacation? What do we think of you? I don't know. A free maid service? I mean, that's about all I ever need you to do, I guess. Wow. Oh, they're calling our ticket group to board the plane. Gotta go, Mom. Don't worry, we'll have enough fun for all 3 of us while we're here. We'll get you a nice souvenir. Do you want a t-shirt or something? I don't need anything from either of you. Go and enjoy yourselves. Do whatever you want. Just don't expect to see me again when you come back. Uh-oh, somebody's grumpy. Don't you have a button to push that pumps you full of painkillers? Smash that thing. You could use a chill pill right about now. After all I've done for you two. All the cooking and cleaning, the constant belittlement and insults. I have been nothing but the best mother I could be to you since the day you were born. And this is how you repay me? By seeing me as nothing but your maid? Well, I'm done. I don't need to spend one more day taking care of a family who will abandon me in my time of need. Really, Mom? You're such a buzzkill. I'm about to go on a super awesome vacation, and you're gonna go and get all on my case like that? Lame. I'm gonna put away my phone now. Talking to you is boring. Don't contact me again until you know you're getting out of the hospital. Got it? I'll do you one better. I'll never contact you again for as long as I live. I hope you enjoy your little vacation with your father, Bella. Goodbye. Answer the phone, Mom. What are you doing over there? What am I doing? Sitting in my hospital bed. What are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be having fun in Hawaii with your father? I can't have fun at a time like this. Things got super duper messed up over here. Dad got in a car accident, like a really, really bad one. What? He did? So, we were driving around the town in the car we rented, and I don't know, we drove by the beach, and there was this big group of girls playing volleyball, and, Dad was watching them, and then he ended up driving the car right into a massive telephone pole. My, isn't that terrible luck for the two of you? Must have ruined your fun. Well, are you hurt? I'm mostly fine. I just have some scrapes and bruises and stuff. But Dad's another story. He got taken to the emergency room in an ambulance. He hit his head really hard. He's still in a coma. Whoa, a coma? You need to get over here, right away. I have no idea what to do. We were supposed to be having fun on our vacation, and now this happened? I'm, so confused. What are we gonna do if Dad never wakes up? I can't handle this all on my own, Mom. I need you here with me. Did you just completely forget that I am also still in the hospital? You're gonna have to take care of everything by yourself, Bella. You said you were fine. You shouldn't have any trouble doing whatever needs to be done. No way! I really need your help! They won't accept our insurance over here. They said we're gonna have to pay the whole balance of the bill in cash. But I don't have that kind of money, and Dad's wallet got thrown out of the car into the water during the crash. We lost all of his cash, credit cards, ID, everything. Mom, please, I really, really need you here. Calm down, Bella. I'm sure you can work something out if you just talk to someone at the hospital. Oh, I know what we can do. You can get yourself transferred to the same hospital Dad is in. That way you'd be able to do everything for me, right? Are you serious? I'm super serious. Dad's still in a coma. And we can't transfer him to where you are until he wakes up, but your legs are still broken or whatever, right? Can't you get yourself transferred over here? It would be like a vacation for you, too. Oh my word, you are serious. You can't expect me to transfer myself out to Hawaii in my condition. But you have to. Dad's in trouble. And you're his wife, right? It's your job to come and help out your husband. I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't have a husband. What? I submitted our divorce papers to the county courthouse a little while ago. So Rick is no longer my husband, and you're no longer my daughter. You're just like any other random person out there to me. I'm not about to fly myself over to Hawaii with 2 broken legs to see some random man and his daughter in the hospital. Wait, Mom, what are you saying? You submitted divorce papers to the courthouse. Does that mean you divorced Dad? Are you serious? That's exactly what I'm saying, Bella. Your father and I are officially divorced. I took care of all the arrangements right after the 2 of you got on your flight to Hawaii. I told you, didn't I? I told you, don't expect to see me again when you come back. I can't believe this. How could you do this to us? You can't just go and divorce your husband whenever you feel like it. He has to consent to it. I'm a college student, Mom. I understand that much. I'm very aware of that too, Bella. And it just so happens that your father signed the divorce papers I submitted, so they're completely valid. I already had his consent. Huh? But I don't get it. Why would Dad sign those? He handed me these himself a while back, actually. We had just gotten into a fight over him not giving me enough money to pay for living expenses. He got so mad that he went and got those divorce papers put together and even signed them. He was trying to force me into compliance by threatening to leave me. He did? He had me dead to rights. I was a housewife at the time. I didn't have the kind of money I'd need to fight a drawn-out divorce battle with him, so I had no choice but to do what he said. But I never threw those papers away. I kept them. And now that the timing seemed right, I used them. Well, okay, I guess that much is fair. But seriously, it's still really messed up what you're doing, Mom. You waited until your husband was in a super bad car accident to divorce him? Like, what is wrong with you? No, that accident had nothing to do with it. I submitted them 1 week ago today. I made a special request to the hospital and they let me check myself out for just 1 day, which I used to go to the courthouse. So, you're really not gonna come over here? Don't you care that Dad's in a coma? Nope, he's not my husband anymore. Why should I care? You certainly have my sympathy for being in such a terrible accident, but he's not my problem anymore. He's yours. But I can't handle all of this. It's too much. I need you to help me, and you're gonna do it one way or another. I'll just have to convince the hospital to send Dad to where you are. What? You're at the hospital closest to our house, right? I know where that is, and I'm gonna have Dad transferred there right away. I hate to break it to you, Bella, but I've already been transferred to a different hospital. You what? Your father and I were divorced, so I was free to go wherever I pleased. I had no intentions of ever going back to live with the 2 of you, so I transferred myself to a hospital close to my parents. I've got plenty of family and friends out here to take care of me. You are so selfish. Can't you think of anybody but yourself? Tell me what hospital you're at right now. I mean it. I'm gonna send Dad over there as soon as possible. Did you really think I was going to tell you? Sorry, Bella, but you're gonna have to take care of your father by yourself. Mom, please. You were already gonna spend the month over there anyway, right? Your classes are on summer break, so you shouldn't have any problem taking care of him at all. After all, you're the only family he has left. But I can't do this alone. I'll never be able to take care of him by myself. I'm begging you, Mom, don't abandon us. Sorry, gotta go. It's time for my physical therapy. Goodbye, Bella. Good luck.
I hope you're proud of yourself, Shelley. How dare you divorce me? You dumb, selfish broad, what's wrong with you?
Ah, I see you're awake and just as pleasant as ever. Welcome back to the world of the living. Did you have a nice nap?
Oh, shut up. I don't have time for your immature jokes right now. You didn't even show 1 ounce of concern when you heard that your husband was in a coma. You're a terrible person and an even worse wife.
I don't want to hear that from someone who up and flew off to Hawaii while his wife was in the hospital. I'd say all I did was give you a taste of your own medicine.
Shut up! I was right about you. You're just a spoiled brat, divorcing me while I was in a coma. But I can be the bigger person here. I'll forgive you for acting the way you did. Once I get back over there, we can just get remarried.
Excuse me?
I'm willing to let bygones be bygones, but on one condition. You need to do some work for me. You might have broken your legs, but your arms still work fine, right? You can use a computer with no problem.
Hold it right there. You want me to do your job for you?
I'd say it's a pretty good bargain for you. You know you need me. Without my money, what are you gonna do to get by? I took this month off in advance, but I told my company that it was family leave to take care of you in the hospital. So I can't let them find out that I'm in a hospital in Hawaii.
Oh, no.
It's the worst possible timing, too. There's a big problem going on at my company right now. They told me that they'll let me work from home, but there's some stuff they need me to do while I'm off. Obviously, I'm in no condition to be doing it myself right now. I'm at my limits just sending you these text messages. My vision is still foggy and the room constantly feels like it's spinning around me.
Rick, tell me you're joking. You lied to your company, took family leave in order to take care of me, and then flew off to Hawaii without telling them?
That's none of your concern. Just do what you're told and keep your mouth shut. Got it? I'm going to send you some documents my company sent me. You need to take those and follow the instructions that should be written at the top of the first page. It's not like you got anything better to do, right? Remember, all you gotta do is a little bit of work and I'll wipe the slate clean. I'll let you be my housewife again.
I neither need nor want your forgiveness. And besides, your company already knows that you lied to them.
What? What do you mean my company knows? There's no way they'd know about this. I never told them anything.
You are way too late to try and cover your tracks. The car rental company sent the invoice for your car to your office. They know everything, Rick. They know you lied about why you were taking time off. They know you're in Hawaii. They know you rented a fancy car and have been living it up all while on the clock.
No! But how?
The car rental company contacted me a little while ago. They said they wanted to discuss the cost of the repairs for the car you wrecked. Apparently, Bella told them to talk to me about it because she couldn't handle it, so since we were already divorced at that time, I explained the situation. I told them that if they wanted to recover the cost of the repair, the best thing for them to do would be to send the bill to your office.
You idiot! What were you thinking? Why did you tell them to bill my company?
What else was I supposed to do? They said they wanted to get the money for the repairs as soon as possible. They're a business. And with that car out of commission, they couldn't rent it to anyone else.
And so what? That's no reason to blab about it to my company. There were a million other ways to take care of this without telling them. You could have given them my credit card number, bank account, anything. You could have just written them a check.
Sure, I knew your credit card and bank account numbers, but it just didn't feel right disclosing the personal information of one third party to another third party without their consent. I thought the best thing would be for your company to take the cost of repairs out of your salary in installments.
This can't be happening. It wasn't supposed to turn out this way. I thought I'd get away with it for sure. So you're serious? My company knows about everything?
I am dead serious, Rick. So you should give up any hope of being able to cover up what you did. Like I said, they know about your vacation, they know about the car, they know about your accident. So it wouldn't do any good to have me do your work for you. It's already over for you.
No! No way!
And with that, it's time for us to say our final goodbyes. I hope you have a swift recovery, Rick. Oh, and try to enjoy the view of the lovely scenery out of your window because you're not going to be able to go and see it in person anymore. Like I told Rick, his company already knew about what Rick was really doing during his family leave. And once HR got wind of it, they immediately rescinded his leave approval. Since he'd already taken time off, though, they docked him days of paid leave to make up for it. Obviously, he didn't have enough days of paid leave to cover the whole time he'd been AWOL, so any additional days were docked from his pay. Since he wasn't going to be making any money until he got out of the hospital, he naturally wanted to be discharged as soon as possible. The hospital, however, told him that he'd need to stay there for at least a month before it was safe for him to fly. Before too long, word spread around his company that he had abandoned his hospitalized wife and gone on vacation without her. That obviously had a rather marked negative impact on his reputation around the office. I don't think he had many friends around there before, but now he definitely is no Mr. Popular. I doubt he's going to be in for a very good time once he finally walks back into the office in a month or so. Come to think of it, he probably shouldn't bet the farm on even having a job there for too much longer. As for Bella, she wasn't able to do any shopping or sightseeing for the rest of her vacation. She was stuck waiting on her dad in the hospital the whole time. While the two of them were enjoying their less than ideal Hawaiian vacation, I was hard at work. I contacted an old friend of mine who ran a moving company and had him get all my personal belongings out of my old house. Also, I had another old friend of mine who's a lawyer take care of the property division. Finally, I had yet another friend of mine who works in real estate find me a cheap apartment to live in once I got out of the hospital. It won't be long before my legs will be fully healed, and then I'll finally be able to enjoy my new, single, child-free lifestyle. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Sam, long time no see. I sent you an invitation to my wedding, but I was just wondering if you've looked at it yet? After all, you haven't sent me any reply back to it, so I've been a little worried. That's why I've decided it's a good idea to text you. You haven't blocked me or anything, right? I'm not coming. I went all the way to send you a text after all these years, though. You're not even going to show me a little love? You don't have to be that rude when we're both adults now, right? I know you're not even married yet, right? I think you're forgetting some things that may have spoiled the relationship we once had. You took my boyfriend away from me back in high school, and then you were the one to tell me that we'd be cutting ties, right? So if that's the man you're going to be getting married to, then that's nice. But I have not gotten any invite from you yet for the wedding. I don't have it at my place, so... And even if I did get it, I would still say no to coming. Wait, you didn't even get it? I tried so hard to make that card as cute as possible for you. So where the hell did you send that pain-in-the-butt invite? To your house. The only house you'd recognize as being mine is from back when I was in high school with you. I'm no longer at that house anymore. Wait, really? Did you guys end up being too poor to afford that place and had to run away? Maybe your dad's company finally went under and you had to sell that house to pay off the banks? This isn't some kind of a TV show, Riley. Why the hell would you think that was the case for us when you could have said something normal, like us just wanting to move into a new house? Well, when you say you're no longer there, that means you have no money, right? Must suck being poor, huh? Well, I'm about to be, what would you say, wealthy here very soon. Man, this world is so unfair to some people, isn't it? Don't try and make up your own story about me, please. A company was planning on using that land to develop more stores, but they wanted to buy it from us. And since they offered a really good amount of money, we sold the place. Really? Because whether it was a good amount or not, I'm sure you would have had to take that money. There's a limit to how rude I'll let you be to me. So you're being serious, though, about not getting the invitation? I'm sure you're saying you won't come because it's too painful to see the woman that stole your boyfriend in high school get married before you, right? Why do you think I'm living in sadness right now? I don't care that you're getting married. Are we done here? I don't have time to be talking with someone that cut ties with me. I'll take a picture of the invite later and have it sent to you on here, okay? I'm going to be marrying a super elite man at this wedding. And this wedding is going to be so luxurious. And my man's parents are also very affluent and run a company that controls all sorts of resorts around the world. Well, good for you. But I'm a busy woman, so I'm not coming. But it'd be a waste for you not to come to such a beautiful wedding like ours, right? And I'm sure that my man will have a lot of his friends there. That could be good pickings for you. His co-workers will also be there. I don't really need a man right now, so I'm fine. Come on now. Are you really that upset with me because I took your boyfriend away? Are you still shocked by all that? Upset that you couldn't get far with a hunk like him back then? Oh my, this is so sad to see. That's not the reason why, but... And even if that happened to somehow be the case, it was all because of you. So I don't want you saying poor things to me after that. It's your fault for letting me take him. But let's be real, I didn't have to put up much of a fight for him. I'm sure that getting away from you was amazing for him. And that's what really pissed me off. You took my boyfriend from me, and after only a week, you dumped him for yet another man. Well, I'm a really sexy woman, so I have to keep myself entertained. It's funny because one day you came up to me asking about my boyfriend, since you were my best friend then, and I let you know about him. And not even a day later, you had him in your arms while you laughed at me. And not just that, but you told him all sorts of bad things about me. And I'll never forgive you for making me look like the bad guy in all of that. I'm so scared by the fact that you took all of that so seriously. Well, I have no interest in ever seeing you again after this, so I'm not coming to your wedding. But I wanted to show off my wedding dress to all of my best friends. Have a great wedding. Goodbye. You're really not coming? You'll regret that, Sam. It's going to be an amazing wedding hall and everything. Hey, Sam. I'll be waiting for you at the wedding, okay?
Hey, thanks for coming out to drink. And actually, during that time when we went out drinking, I didn't say this then, but I'm going to be getting married. Do you think you can come see the wedding?
Wait, you're getting married? Congratulations! I honestly never thought you'd be getting married anytime soon, Chris. Wait, you've had a girlfriend all this time?
Oh, come on now. You know that I'm a good-looking guy, right?
I know that, but you never seemed to stick with any of the women you had before, and you've had a lot of them.
Well, this one is a lot different than those other women. We have been going months now, and our love is still strong. And now we're finally planning to get married to one another.
Well, that's great to hear. So are you going to be asking everyone from college to come to the wedding?
I'm thinking of asking everyone that was in club activities with me.
All those people you'd go out drinking with too, huh? When's the wedding going to be?
In about another 3 months on the second Saturday of that month. Do you think you can make it then?
I think I can make it work. After all, this is the wedding of one of my best friends from college, and we went through it all together. So I'll make sure to be all excited when I come.
Do you plan to be going to any other weddings soon?
Well, I told you about the one before, right? About the girl from high school that stole my boyfriend from me?
Oh, that's the story about how she turned on you being good friends and told your boyfriend a bunch of lies about you, right?
Well, she talked to me about a week ago about her wedding. She said she'd invited me to her wedding and wanted me to come.
But didn't you both cut ties in high school?
And that's why I told her no. But she still went on and told me the date and where the event would be held at. She really has no need to be putting herself through all that trouble.
She's a pretty crazy woman, huh?
What's the woman that you'll be marrying like?
She told me that I'm her first true love. She said I'm the first man she's ever dated and the only man she wants to be with for the rest of her life. When she said that, I knew this would work out for me.
Wait, but I mean, like, where did you find her and what does she do? I already know that you have a way with women and all that. I remember in elementary school you had your first girlfriend.
But I mean, you had quite a few boys into you as well, right? And ever since elementary school until now, you've been mainly friends with guys, right? And most of all, you've been close to me, so maybe we're meant for each other. Anyway, I'd love to introduce you to her sometime so that she can tell you about herself instead of me doing it. After the wedding's all over with, you should come over and we can all hang out.
Now that you mention, after the wedding, do you plan to move?
My dad has an apartment he doesn't use anymore, so we'll move into there. It's a very large apartment meant for a family of 4, so it'll be the perfect place for us to start. That'll at least hold us over for 10 or 15 years, right?
I'm looking forward to seeing all your family, so I can't wait for your wedding.
And my parents have been on me about inviting you to the wedding for a week now. My parents only ever had me and always wanted a daughter as well, so they saw you as sort of their own baby girl.
Thank goodness. Let them know that I'm really looking forward to meeting them at the wedding.
Then I'll send you the invitation soon so that you don't forget the date and place. You still live in that house, right?
Well, if you're talking about the house I've been at all this year, it's the same.
Understood. I'll send it tomorrow, so expect it the day after.
You already know that I'm coming, but I'll still make sure to RSVP.
Thank you. I have to be the one to put together the whole guest list, so that'll make it easier for me.
You've always been good at paperwork, right? You always have a good memory, so when it comes to dealing with lists, you never forget a thing. I'll be waiting on that invitation. After all those times telling me you wouldn't come to my wedding, you finally decided to come here? Did you come here on accident or something? I didn't know myself. Just after I saw you a second ago, you burst out laughing at me. Well, I never actually thought that I'd be seeing you come in today. I didn't even notice you during the whole ceremony, but now that we're all partying, I happened to run into you. And that scared the crap out of me before I started to laugh. Are you planning to stay here for the ending of this wedding? Are you sure it's okay for you to still be texting me when you should be getting ready? Don't you have to be in the back or something? I'm fine. I've already gotten myself ready for what all comes next, so don't worry about me. Now tell me, what do you think of my dress and body? Amazing, aren't I? Sure are. I'm surprised. Am I more beautiful than the last time we saw one another? You don't have to compliment me too much, you know. And I want to say, it's okay for you to stick around until the end today, but I didn't invite anyone else from high school, so it'll just be you by yourself today. Is that okay? That's fine with me. Even though we don't have a seat for you? Huh? What do you mean you don't have a seat for me? Well, this is the most important day to me, and I've made sure of that. So I never actually meant for the woman I cut ties with to show up. I was just joking the whole time, yet you seriously came? Of course there's no seat for you. That's fine, because I was invited by the groom. Huh? The groom invited you? What are you talking about? The reason I'm here today is because I said I'd be coming to the groom's wedding. I'm surprised, though. I didn't actually take a good look at who he'd be getting married to. And because it was his wedding today, I just assumed nothing could go wrong here and just came along with only my excitement. But now I can see that you happen to be the woman he's getting married to today. Hold on a minute, what? You already know him? You know Chris? I guess I should have known when you were telling me that he was a wealthy man and both of his parents own a company that has resorts all over the world. Explain all of this to me right now. Why do you know about him and his parents? Don't tell me that ever since you lost your boyfriend to me in high school, you've been planning to steal my fiancé from me, right? I would never do that. Do you think I'm a monster too or something? Then tell me why you know all about Chris. Way back in the day, his family and my family lived right next to one another. Huh? Right next to you guys? He and I ended up going to the same elementary school and the same middle school. And the both of us were really into comic books, so we'd always be hanging out at each other's house and reading them together. What the heck? I had gone over to your house all the time in high school to hang out, and I never once met him. What do you mean he was living right next to you? Didn't you tell me those people living next to you were an old couple? Well, my last year in middle school, Chris's dad ended up having to go overseas for work, and so the rest of his family followed. Huh? But we still stayed in touch while he was out of the country, and when it was time for us to go to college, he had moved back to the US and planned to go to college here. So after talking back and forth about where we'd be going and helping one another out with the admission paperwork, we went to the same college together and graduated together. But don't worry. He and I had grown up like brother and sister, so never once did he or I ever have anything other than sibling love between us. So, you're telling me that Chris and you went to elementary school, middle school, and college together? We were going into 2 different majors in college, but still went and joined the same clubs. And today all those people that were in those clubs with us are here at the wedding as well. So I myself have a seat ready to go, so don't worry about me. And because both his mom and dad are here and are dying to see me, I'm going to be around them talking about my life. Hold on. You haven't said anything unnecessary to them, right? What do you mean by unnecessary things? You know what I'm talking about, right? That's what I want you to keep a secret. Are you talking about all the lies you told? Wait, lies? Did you tell Chris that he was the first man you've ever dated and would be the first man you'd go on forever with? Why do you know about that? Chris really loves himself, all those fantasy comics and stuff. So when you said that to him like some sort of romantic fantasy, he was in your hands. Don't you dare tell them anything that they shouldn't know about. He believes right now that he's the only man I've ever been with. Just as I expected. You're full of lies, right? Well, I haven't said anything to them yet. Do you really think I'm that petty that I'd rather watch you suffer at the cost of ruining his marriage with you today? Sam! So you really are my best friend. You're going to keep all of that a secret for our sakes, right? Well, now that I think about it, I'm talking with him right now. Huh? Talking with him now? About what? I'm talking to him about the story of the person that stole my boyfriend from me back in high school again. And we're talking all about that right now. Even though I did explain this stuff to him back in college. You're joking, right? You know I'm not. He loves talking about our college lives, and so we have been talking about our high school relationships. And that's when I brought it all up to him. Did you tell him today that that friend of yours was me? I just told you. I don't want to ruin this wedding just to watch you suffer, right? I didn't even know you were going to be the bride today at his wedding, so I never thought about mentioning you to him. Thank God. Please, Sam, keep all of that stuff a secret. I do not want to have to run away from all the money he has. Are you aware of everything else that's supposed to happen today at this wedding? I know about the main gist of the wedding, but I left all the details up to Chris to handle. I made sure to put together all the decorations and all the menus for the wedding, and that's about all I helped out with when getting set up today. Well, then you're aware that there will be a speech today that his best friend will do? His best friend will have a speech for us? Wait, that best friend is me. Stop that! Go home right now, you! I don't even want to know what you plan to say today. Do not take away my happiness. Please do not do this to me. I finally found a man with enough money to make me happy. I had a lot of men that I was dating, and he was the one I chose to be the one. You were dating a lot of other men? Wait, that was nothing. Just a lie. Oh, it's getting time for the final ceremony and the speech. They asked me to go and sit down in my seat, so that's what I'm going to do. Wait, please, Sam. Do not do that speech for me. Sam?
I'm so sorry about today. I'm in a rush right now, but when everything's been taken care of, I'd like to come and apologize to you.
No, you haven't done anything wrong, so there's no need to apologize to me. You know that this all has to do with that idiot Riley.
But I just could not believe that the best friend from high school that stole your boyfriend was Riley.
Well, that's all in the past now. And so if you're happy with someone like her, then that's totally fine with me. I never really wanted to say all of that in my original speech, by the way. But because of how Riley began to act and throw a fit when I got on stage, and then threw her wine glass at me, I had enough of her.
I'm sorry. I also freaked out a little then and was laughing at first at what happened to you. It was like something out of a drama, so I just couldn't hold my laughter back.
Well, you and I both, Chris. I was laughing too.
The staining from her wine will probably not come out of your dress, huh? I'll make sure to pay for a new one for you.
Don't worry about it. I'll make sure that Riley pays me for it. But before we talk any more about that, what about what happens next with you both?
That's right. I have a few things that I'd like to think about. I know that what happened with you in high school is in the past now, and so some of that could be due to her being young and unaware, but it was her fault in the end.
No, I also think it's just because we were all young back then. Now, this is all up to you, what you do next, but since you've always been like a brother to me, I only want the future that's best for you, and nothing else. I think this may take some effort, but it might be worth it to start investigating into her a bit more.
Are there things I need to learn about?
Before she knew that you and I knew one another, she told me that she had lots of men she was dating before she finally chose you.
She had been dating other men? Don't tell me. She was actually with other men besides just me at the time?
I don't like to talk bad about other people, but that chick is full of lies. You are not her first boyfriend, and back when she stole my boyfriend in high school, she lied a bunch about me.
Thank you, Sam. I'll think about this all a lot.
Why is this happening to me? Because of you, my marriage is all over the place now. Because of me? Are you sure this isn't just you getting what you deserve? You told him about all the things that happened between me and you and a bunch more crap. You lied to him about me cheating on him as well. And now he's telling me if he can't trust me enough, he won't be able to stay married to me. And now he's wanting to get a settlement from me. What do you mean I told him some lies about you? I told him all the facts about you, Riley. That's all. Honestly, I had been planning to leave all the past in the past and just give a normal speech about the two of you to celebrate your guys' marriage. And so I was never going to say a thing about your past to anyone there. But then you got up on stage with me and threw your wine glass at me before yelling that I leave the wedding, right? And that was to protect my happiness. Well, only your happiness, right? Excuse me? You made sure to keep yourself happy. You had all sorts of men in love with you so that you had a lot to choose from. And you lied about all of that to Chris, right? You had planned to find one of those men to marry, but then when you saw that Chris had a lot of money, you ditched all those other men and stuck to marrying Chris. But about all those other men you had led to believe would be marrying you, you just threw all their happiness and time in the trash. What's so bad about me doing things like that to make sure I remain happy? Actually, if that's the way you want to live your life, then by all means, you can continue doing so. But Chris had never wanted to marry someone like that and be with them for the rest of his life. And so when he found out about that, he had no choice but to be upset with you. He's only one man, right? You have plenty of others to go out and use. So long as you pay the settlement to Chris, you'll be just fine. Shut your mouth! You came and ruined my wedding when you were uninvited and gave me a bad name for no reason. I'm going to sue you for that. Well, I happen to have one of his father's lawyers at my side right now, so go ahead and talk to him about how you plan to handle that. Huh? You already have a lawyer? Well, yeah, I'm going to need you to pay me back for hitting me with that wine glass and ruining my expensive dress. And you made sure that everyone there got to witness you doing all of that to me. So I think I'm going to have you pay me a lot for that trauma. Hold on now, Sam. Why do I have to be the one paying you? Well, because there are a lot of witnesses to the event, and there were cameras on every wall. Everyone and everything saw you throw that wine glass at me and ruin my dress and happiness. So I'm sorry, but there is just too much evidence showing that you're in the wrong to let go of. Hold on, please. Everyone already wants me to pay for the whole wedding. And the rest of those men that I'd been with while dating Chris are asking for me to pay a settlement for cheating on them. I shouldn't have to pay anyone money for trying to keep myself happy. So that must mean the phrase, you get what you deserve, works perfectly here then. You have to be frickin' kidding me. This is going to end my life. This is not at all what I had in mind. I was supposed to end up with a husband who would pay for all my wants and needs and could live the rest of my life with a smile on my face. And now my mom and dad won't talk to me anymore, so there's no money for me to give up. I'm about to go out with some friends of mine and Chris's friends from college now. So go ahead and talk to my lawyer about what all you'll need to pay me, okay? Wait a second, Sam! If I'd known that you and Chris were longtime friends, then I would have tried to make up with you. Then this would have never happened to us. We aren't in high school anymore, though. We don't just make up over things like that anymore. Now act like an adult and deal with the consequences for us. After learning the grand total from all the settlements for cheating and lying, as well as for my dress and traumatizing me and for the wedding fee and Chris divorcing her, Riley was left with no money in her bank accounts and was working 18 hours a day to make enough money to pay off all the money she had to borrow. Of course, of the guys she had tried to fall back on to marry and save her, none of them came to her side, and her parents were both done with her as well. She had no place to run away to and will forever be stuck with the debt she has. Unless she can make it into her elderly years and finally have everything paid off.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.